Howdy folks, Peter here, and I'm back with the Yaris rebuild. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out my previous video on this, the part 1, and we can start working on this thing again. So from the last time that you've seen this thing, I put more work into this and I took off the fenders, the inner fender liners and wheels and stuff like that. So something unexpected pop up, and that is the maintenance issue. The brakes are non-existent. We have this ginormous lip here, so the rotors are shot, the pads are shot, so I ordered those. Also on the other side of the car there should be an sway bar end link that is completely missing from here, so I ordered both of them. And as you can see, we have the fenders off because I thought I will have the fenders also, but if there's one thing that I really hate and why I don't rebuild motorcycles is used motorcycle dealers. I mean used motorcycle parts dealers like me. That's why I started this business. I hated them, and that's why I started this business, and I wanted to be better than them. So but more than them, I hate used car parts dealers. And well, getting those parts for the Yaris was a headache, but I've got some. They wasn't really cheap, but I got them. Let's make work with what we do have, which we have the fenders that are, one is kinked and one is bent. Well, we will have to work them to look best as possible. So let's take a look what I bought for the Yaris and then start tearing into it. So I have the parts in my trusty, crusty old van. We also need to talk about this van in another video because there is a time when you should stop investing money in something old and buy something new, but I don't know if that's the time for this van. Anyway, we have these parts, and as I can see, I bought the front bumper, the absorber here, the absorber pad, and the car support with all the goodies. We have the fan, we have the lower covers. This one is okay, this one is busted, and we will have to slice this piece off and make it work. Of course, on the salvage yard they cut the hoses, but I don't care about the hoses. But they destroyed the connector on the fan, so we need to switch the fans. And the plan of today is to get the radiators out, get the covers off, and get the core support into the building where we can start drilling the spot welds and get rid of the cut frame rails and cut aprons. So let's start ripping into it. First thing I'm going to do is take off this one 10mm on the bottom here. If I had the 10mm on, I have 8mm. Now I have the 10. So there is a 10mm nut here, or bolt. Pretty crusty, holding these plastics on. If I can get a bite on it, because as I said, it's pretty crusty. That's probably going to snap off. Or not. We'll see. Oh, there it goes, it snapped off. So that's one thing we need to replace. But these plastics are now free. This one is not significantly damaged. Got some damage here, but we can plastic weld that. Set it to the side. This one is missing a chunk here, but we can cut it off and plastic weld a new piece in. So now the radiator fan and stuff like that. Right, the fight with the rusty bolt is over, so let's fight more rusty bolts and hope they don't break the inside the radiator, because if they do, we are in lots of trouble. So this is held on by 3 10mm, one on the top, 2 on the top, I'm sorry, 2 on the top and 1 on the bottom. Right, got those off. Now there is a hose clamp on the top here, so we need to take that off. And slide the hose of the radiator here. Alright, and now our fan shroud can come off. As I said, they destroyed this connector here, so we need to replace the radiator fan. Now it's time for what's left of the radiator hoses. Start with the bottom one. Like so. And now the top one. Like so. Now we need to flip this thing over. Also, this radiator looks like it's been replaced, so we might get a new radiator with this deal. That's fine with me. So this is my first time seeing this flipped around. I can see that they damaged this bracket here. Yeah, whatever, we can probably straighten that. And they couldn't get the bolt out of the AC line, so we need to cut this and hopefully gently massage the bolt off. So now we need to take the core support off, this brace, hopefully. Everything's pretty rusty on this thing. And the gauge of this metal is not very thick, so everything's pretty flimsy. This is going to twist for sure. Right, that's off. This plastic shield or whatever is held on by these plastic clips. We just take the bottom of this centerpiece, pop it loose, and we can take this off. They broke it anyways, so we don't care about it, but I will wait when this upper core support is gone. Now we can start removing the bolts that's holding the upper core support on. This piece is really flimsy and there's a lot of weight on it. Oh, that's great. That's really great. This just keeps on giving. Oh, this one snapped too. Nice, 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 really nice. Okay, so this is out. We're gonna have to fight this. I'm really not looking forward to that. So there we have our parts. This is our radiator. Set it here. Our condenser. This broken piece, as you can see down there, and the cable for the hood that they broke. Now let's get this thing into the shop and let's drill the spot welds. Alright, so we have a couple of seam welds, as you can see, on the top part of these brackets, so we need to grind them off with the angle grinder. Then we have these little spot welds here, as you can see, and we are going to drill a pilot hole through them and then drill them out with a bigger drill bit. So this is going to be a tedious process, as you can see from this thing just dangling in the wind. This is very flimsy and the chance of me bending is very high. I should have went with the new piece. It would be much easier, but I was trying to save some money. So what we need to do is, I'm going to set you on a time lapse because I will struggle with this, promise you I will. And we'll see how it's going to turn out. So there is the piece of the left apron of our core support. This is what I'm going to do. I drilled the pilot holes, the small pilot holes, and then with a big bit I drilled the upper layer of the metal off. And I know that these holes are too big. I know it. I'm going to fill them with weld. Don't worry, I will smooth it out, probably Bondo over it, and it will be fine. So now what I'm going to do is do the same thing that I did here, to all of the metal here. So this is going to be a little bit time consuming. So let's end the time lapse here, and I will show you when this will be done and the car will be done. The car will be a lot more easier because this is supported, and this I can cut out here and here with the sawzall and just grind this off or knock this off with the chisel. So let's get into it. So the pile of non-usable stuff is here, and our car support is here and ready to be installed. So now I need to take the cable and run it to the car and butcher the car, and there it is, and rip the car support of the car. Alright, so this is the pile of the old stuff. I just knocked it out with the chisel, and on the aprons I ground it out with the angle grinder. So this is junk. We will be using the bolts and fasteners and stuff like that, and this is complete junk. Maybe some bolts here holding the bumper that we will use, but then it will go to the scrap. And we have the new piece just test fitted in here. I scribed the marks here. I don't know if you can see them, but it's lining up pretty well. I just need to clean the welds and of the frame and stuff like that. I will be painting this before I put it on car. I just grind these spots off and clean them and tape them with tape, so I can then shoot it with the color then. So the brackets here have to be straightened out a little bit. The valve cover is leaking, so I probably will clean the engine before I put the core support and everything back on. I will check it over. The transmission have a silicone running through it, so the transmission had some work done to it. Other than that, the tire made a dent in our exhaust. The oil filter is good and tight, and yeah, couple of oil leaks, but the profit margin on this is slim to none, so we are not going to do, I think, too much service work except the brakes and what I said. I'm going to do brakes and the sway bar and links. So battery is disconnected, ready for welding. So I will take it off again. And did I show you the bumper? Let's show you the bumper. There's the bumper. There's one thing there. The license plate holder is broken. We can work around that. As you can see, in the past they drilled the holes for the license plate. Anyway, these grills need to come out. It has to be cleaned, sanded, painted, and then we can put it on car, as well as this bracket, clean, sand, paint. The support, top support, the same thing. So the next thing is to reman the radiator fan. So let's grab the radiator fan, the bumper. This will be dismantling, that we will be repairing. So let's take a look. So here we have the radiator shroud and the fan in the shop here. The reason I'm buying this, I bought this, is this little nipple here was broken on ours, and it being from the junkyard, every junkyard worker there is thinks that he is Hulk, because Hulk smashed and they ripped off the connector. The connector should look like this. So we need to take the fan blade. I've got the OEM, the OG fan blade here, but I think this one looks a bit better, maybe. Excuse me. And let's take this. This is 8mm. Let's take the fan blade off. Let's take the motor out. But before that, we need to test this motor if it works. So the test setup that I have here is just an old motorcycle battery and 2 household wires. So we need to get those wires in and not short them one on each other and see if the motor was working. It is. It's maybe a little bit sluggish, but it is working. And it is the OG part Toyota. Okay, so 8mm on the fan blade. Luckily both of them came right off, which is pretty nice because we have spare. I can cut through this, but yeah. Now I hope these screws will play nice. Of course they don't. And of course they don't. Ah, Jesus. Ah, Jesus. Alright, we've got some more drilling to do, or we can cut off these brackets, I guess. Yeah, let's cut off the brackets. Right, let's try cutting those suckers off. And let's see now about knocking this loose. I think it worked. We have a usable frame for our new used, I should say. And the screws even played nice on the other one. So we have screws, we have fan blades, we have everything. We can put it like that, rotate it so they line up. I said so they line up. Now they are lined up. Probably not right though, because the plug is facing wrong way. Yeah, but it's the only way they line up, so I'm not gonna judge and not gonna put the blade back on, because if the plug is not where we want it, we can change it later. Come on, you little bolt. Not bastard, bolt. Yeah, I'm going to struggle off camera. So now for the bumper here, there is these tabs that correspond with this molding here, and then there is a check style you need to push down and pop it off. So let me get a screwdriver and let's start off with this pushing style. Okay. This one, and this one, and here is the toe eye cover. This one is off, and this just slides off to the side, like so. And we have fog light down there. Oops. There. And it's just the same. Push out, push out, push up, and then wiggle. The front section is just hooked, so you need to bring it off the hooks, like so, like so, like so. Same thing on the bottom, like so, so. Let's clip this one, clip back on, like so, and like so. And the center piece is out, I mean. And then the same process on the other side. Alright, I managed to repair or get out the stuck bolt and broken bolt that they had in the condenser. I did a little bit cuts in that, but that's not the sealing surface. This seals on the O-ring, and the O-ring surface has no damage to it, so we should be good there. I don't know if this condenser is any good, if the AC compressor is any good, if the lines are any good. We're going to just hope that they are, because every time I sell the car, I want it to be perfect. So I repaired this. I have a couple of broken bolts that I need to weld out, and then I need to sand this, refinish it, and that should be it. We have to unclip all these things and stuff like that. So this is going to be it for this episode. Next time we are going to hopefully tackle the welding in, or I should have it welded before I start the episode, because I do not have a second vice grip. I have only one vice grip, so I'll probably have to I need help. So I don't want to get other person on the camera, so probably the core support will be welded, maybe the bumper will be painted, and we're going to reassemble or service the brakes and the suspension. So please subscribe if you like the rebuilds, and I will see you in another episode. Bye!